our Building Together plan identified a number of capital priorities that were finalized in June, July of this year, and then as I say, by the time everything gets done and these things are put into place, this became one of the province's top priorities among a whole bunch. And so we're pleased to be able to announce this, and it begins a process. David spoke about the western site. I remember when we did that announcement, I think it was in '06, we said there'd be like 4 years to bring it to fruition, and these projects are very complicated, and it involves consultation with the communities, with the healthcare givers, the healthcare providers, I should say, and it's a little more complex than renovating your basement, and but they now have the commitment of the province to fund this, and the sooner they get on with things, the sooner everything will come to fruition, and we'll work with them coming weeks, months, and years to ensure that this goes even faster than outlined today.
How do you respond to the other two parties saying that all these announcements are just buying votes?
This investment today represents almost $250 million in total over the last 8 years to this hospital. We've been doing them every year, year in, year out, month in, month out. This is part of good healthcare planning. The other parties, the Conservatives, you remember, closed 2 hospitals in Windsor. When they closed the 2, they did not provide funding to renovate the emergency rooms at the remaining 2 hospitals. They did not make investments in community-based care the way we have. So I'm actually very proud of our track record, and I want to assure Windsorites and people in Essex County, if we're re-elected, we will continue to make these investments in education, healthcare. They also create jobs, and jobs are going to be an important issue in this election. This is yet another a long string of announcements. The first one we did was way back in just not long after the '03 election. The Premier came down and we announced an MRI for this hospital, which had been requested 5 or 6 years earlier, and the Conservative government of the day refused to do it. We came to office, we did it within several months of being elected, and we'll continue to work with this community if we're given the privilege of governing Ontario again.
Well, this is my question. If in the event you're not, are these projects guaranteed?
Yes, they're built into the capital budget. You'd have to ask local Conservatives if they would undo those capital budgets, not just here in Windsor but elsewhere. But yes, absolutely, they're minuted. They're part of the whole Treasury Board process. They're part of Building Together, which is the ministry's capital arm working through Infrastructure Ontario. So these things have long timelines. David cited the one, I remember the Conservatives before the last election, we announced the community health beds that we're going to do a ribbon cutting on later this month. The Conservatives at the time said, well, this is just an election play. Well, no, it takes a long time to do these things, and they now have the go-ahead from the ministry in writing from the minister, and look forward to working with them in the coming weeks and months.